Petra should not exist. It sits in the middle of a desert, yet it became one of the richest cities in the ancient world. Rain arrives a few times a year. When it does, it comes as this. Someone solved that problem and built a city that controlled the entire desert trade network. This is the system that made it possible. No diagrams, no maps, just stone, water, and control. The Nabateans studied the desert floods. Instead of stopping them, they redirected them. Flash floods rushed through narrow sandstone canyons. Most cities feared that chaos. It destroyed what they built. Petra turned it into infrastructure. Channels were carved directly into canyon walls. Stone dams slowed the violent surge. Water was captured before it could vanish into the stone. The flood stopped being chaos. It became supply. But capturing water was only the beginning. Petra built storage at every level of the city. Cisterns cut into rock, hidden beneath courtyards. Reservoirs cut deep into solid rock faces. Terracotta pipes carried water across the entire city. Each storm filled the system from source to storage. Each drop had a destination. You have never chosen where your water comes from. Someone already decided that for you. The desert no longer decided where water went. Engineers did. And administrators recorded it. One broken dam. No stored water. No caravan stops. No trade. The system was not infrastructure, it was the city's survival condition. Once the system worked, Petra expanded it. More channels, more reservoirs, more reach. The city could now outlast droughts that destroyed competitors. Caravans crossing Arabia discovered something rare in the desert. Reliable water. Trade routes bent toward Petra. Caravans needed water. Every traveler crossing the desert needed water. Petra had it controlled. Every route converged where water was guaranteed. Petra became a checkpoint in the desert economy. Not because it controlled armies. Because it controlled supply. Supply is always the deeper authority. Incense merchants passed through. Spice routes crossed its canyon gates. Every route converged where water was certain. The monuments visitors see were not the source of power. The true power was hidden. Channels running along canyon walls. Reservoirs sealed inside solid rock. Pipes beneath the streets. The city above ground was only the surface. The system beneath made everything above possible. The system that kept Petra alive still runs beneath every city you have ever lived in. The logic never expired. Water in Petra, grain in empires, information in modern networks. The mechanism changes. The logic does not. The desert never changed. But the system did. Petra survived because someone controlled the flow. The most powerful cities throughout history are rarely defined by monuments. They are defined by the invisible systems that move resources through them. The system expanded because water could be captured, stored, and moved across the city. The treasury was the face of Petra. The channels were the reason it existed. Engineers carved channels at a consistent slope of 1 in 200. Too steep and water rushed past collection points. Too flat and it stagnated. The Nabateans found the balance. Dams were not walls against floods. They were flow regulators. Each dam had a calculated overflow point. If one channel failed, the system had a secondary path. Redundancy was not luxury, it was survival architecture. Pipe joints were sealed with hydraulic lime. Settling tanks removed sediment and controlled pressure across elevation changes. The system was designed for an annual cycle. Winter filled it. Summer drew it down. Researchers estimate Petra stored enough water for 30,000 people through a dry season. Every trader who stopped paid for access to that storage. Water control generated the revenue that built everything visitors see. The incense road carried frankincense, myrrh, and spices from South Arabia to Rome. Petra sat at the crossroads of 3 continents. No competitor in the region could offer guaranteed water on the same scale. The Nabateans were not simply merchants. They built a state around infrastructure control. Records tied water allocation to trade rights. Access to water meant access to the trade route. One system created layered authority across the entire region. Cities that could not solve water did not generate trade. Competitors with natural water sources but no engineering system could not match Petra's reliability. Deep rock storage reduced evaporation loss by over 80%. Every cistern carved into rock was a structural advantage over any competitor using surface storage. When Rome annexed Petra in 106 CE, they inherited the water system. They extended it. They did not replace it. The water system outlasted the Nabatean state by centuries. Petra declined when the system fractured, earthquake damage, shifting trade routes, maintenance collapse. When water control ended, the city ended. Not because of armies, because the infrastructure failed. Every desert city that declined lost control of its resource system before it lost anything else. Oil infrastructure, food supply chains, data networks. The resource changes. The control logic does not. Petra's engineers did not build an empire. They built a system. The empire followed. Civilizations do not conquer harsh environments. They redesign how resources move through them. Petra did not defeat the desert. It redesigned how water moved through it. That logic scaled. Every city that made scarcity governable used the same mechanism. The resource was never the constraint, the system was.